Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king. He ruled Rome at its peak and wrote one of history's most revered self-help books, Meditations. But behind the calm prose and wise reflections lies a tragedy no one talks about: his son, Commodus. Commodus didn't just fail to live up to his father's legacy. He became one of Rome's worst emperors, egotistical, violent, addicted to gladiator games. The fall of Rome began under his rule. So, was Marcus a hypocrite, a failed father? Or is there a deeper lesson? Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, our values, our actions, not outcomes, not other people, not even your own children. Marcus poured wisdom into his journals, not the throne. His writings weren't public. They were a daily attempt to stay grounded amidst power, loss, and betrayal. His son's downfall wasn't proof of Stoicism's failure. It was the proof of its necessity. Even if the empire falls, you can still rule your mind. That was his real legacy. Not a perfect empire, but a philosophy for surviving its collapse. Zeno was a wealthy trader, living the dream until it all sank. Literally. His cargo ship was lost at sea, fortune gone. Most would spiral, panic, curse the gods. But Zeno walked into a bookstore. He read about Socrates, he reflected, and he rebuilt not just his life, but an entire worldview. That disaster became the origin story of Stoicism. Zeno taught that life is a current. You can't control the waves, but you can steer the ship. He said, well-being is realized by small steps, but is truly no small thing. His loss wasn't the end, it was the beginning. Today, we freak out over losing followers, jobs, relationships. Zeno lost his fortune and found purpose. So the next time life wrecks your plans, ask, is this a setback or a redirection? Because sometimes the ship has to sink so you can swim. Imagine being born a slave. Your body is not your own. Your freedom never promised. And yet, you believe that true freedom is internal. That was Epictetus. He had his leg twisted and broken by his master, and his takeaway, that we suffer not from pain itself, but from how we interpret it. It sounds absurd until you realize what he meant. Pain is inevitable, but how we frame it, that's our choice. He said, men are disturbed not by things, but by the view they take of them. He didn't say pain wasn't real. He said your mind has the power to transform it, to turn torment into training, to take slavery and make it a spiritual revolution. Epictetus became one of the most powerful voices in philosophy. Without wealth, without armies, without even freedom, because while others controlled his body, only he controlled his mind. So ask yourself, what's your cage, and can you think your way out? Seneca wrote about simplicity, minimalism, detachment. He also had a net worth in the millions, in Roman terms, real estate across the empire, and advised one of the most infamous emperors, Nero. So, Stoic or sellout? It's tempting to cancel Seneca as a hypocrite, but here's the twist. He never told you not to own wealth. He said, don't let wealth own you. He wrote, a wise man is content with little, but doesn't resent having more. Seneca used his position to survive in a brutal political world, and he warned others, fortune is unstable, fame is fragile. What matters is who you are without it. He knew he lived in contradiction, and he begged his readers, don't wait until you're rich to practice simplicity. Start now. Stoicism isn't about being a monk in a cave. It's about staying grounded even if you're in the palace. So yeah, maybe Seneca walked a tightrope, but he wrote the guidebook while balancing. The Stoics would cancel you for your emotions, right? You've heard the stereotype. Stoics are emotionless, cold, robotic. But that's not Stoicism. That's a misread. Marcus Aurelius mourned his children. Seneca wrote letters of heartbreak. Epictetus taught emotional self-awareness. They felt deeply, but they didn't let emotions run the show. Stoicism teaches this. Emotions are messengers, not masters. You don't ignore anger. You investigate it. You don't suppress sadness. You learn from it. The goal isn't to be numb. It's to respond with clarity. In today's world of hot takes and viral rage, Stoicism is radical. It tells you, stop, breathe, respond intentionally, not impulsively. You can feel heartbreak and still act with honor. You can feel fear and still choose courage. That's not weakness, that's power. So no, Stoics weren't emotionless. They were emotionally disciplined. And in a world constantly yelling, maybe silence is the strongest voice. Follow for more Stoicism.